Hi everyone, I'm Elaine from English Made Easy. As the name suggests, this channel is all about making English lessons practical, easy, and interesting. So, if you need easy, practical lessons that are enjoyable, this is the place for you. Today's lesson is about how important it is to pronounce words correctly. I'll give you an example. A few days ago, I was at a party with some friends. We had just had dinner when one of my friends said, "Did you see the desert?" I shook my head, very confused, because I didn't know of any desert close by. But I did want to know where it was. So I asked him, "Where's the desert?" And he smiled and said, "On the table." That's when I realized that he was not talking about a desert, an area of sand, a dry area with a lot of sand. He was talking about dessert, a sweet course eaten at the end of a meal. So you see how very important it is to pronounce words correctly, or the entire meaning of the word can change and people will misunderstand you. Two completely different words. Desert and dessert. Desert is a dry area covered with sand, and dessert is a sweet course eaten at the end of a meal. I'll give you another example. There was once a lady who wanted to take my friend to see the antics at a store. Of course, we were baffled because we couldn't imagine why she wanted my friend to go to the store to see the foolish, amusing, or outrageous behavior of someone there. Until we realized sometime later that she wanted my friend to see the antiques at the store. Antiques, objects of high value, not antics, amusing or outrageous behavior. So, see what a problem it was just because of the pronunciation of the word? Antics and antiques. Here's another example. Someone told me she was an invalid because she had hurt her back in an accident and was confined to a wheelchair for the rest of her life. Now, that's not right, not at all. She was not an invalid, she was an invalid. She was an invalid because she had hurt her back in an accident and was confined to a wheelchair for the rest of her life. She was denied entry to the contest because she had submitted invalid documents. That's not right either. She was denied entry to the contest because she had submitted invalid documents. Two completely different words. They have different meanings, very different meanings. They are pronounced completely differently, but they are spelt in exactly the same way. Invalid. I'll repeat these sentences. She was an invalid, because she had hurt her back in an accident and was confined to a wheelchair for the rest of her life. She was denied entry to the contest because she had submitted invalid documents. Invalid. Invalid is a noun and invalid is an adjective. So, invalid means a patient, someone needing help, and invalid means useless or worthless. So, here are the three pairs of words you learned today: desert and dessert. You learned invalid and invalid, and you learned antics and antiques. Desert, a dry area covered with sand, and dessert, a sweet course eaten at the end of a meal. The second pair that you learned was antics, which is amusing, foolish, or outrageous behavior, and antiques, objects of high value. The third pair of words you learned today, invalid, a person who needs help, and invalid. Invalid is useless or worthless. I've come to the end of today's lesson with that, and I do hope you found this lesson useful, very useful. Until we meet again, do keep pronouncing these words and practicing them, because it can cause a lot of problems if you mispronounce them, like you saw in the examples that I gave you. Until next time, cheerio.